Joining us this morning is Chief OjyOkpe, with stories trending around the world. We give our chief.
Good morning, Rufai. How are you this morning? No problem, I'll take it from you. Good morning, Ayo. How are you? Perfect. Kayode.
Hello. Yes,
good morning.
yes.
Well, all right. Good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. In the United States, President Joe Biden marked the 8th anniversary of one of the saddest days of his life, the death of his son Bo, by attending a memorial mass and visiting his graveside. Bo Biden was 46 years old when he died of brain cancer in 2015. At the time, Joe Biden was the vice president of the country. In Nigeria, former President Muhammadu Buhari was hosted to a special durbar by a large crowd in his hometown of Daura on Monday, less than 24 hours after he handed over the reins of power to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. There was pomp, pageantry, and celebratory gymnastics on display at the durbar, which is a festival that is normally held during the Eid al-Kabir and Eid al-Fitr celebrations. The durbar was hosted by the Emir of Daura in honor of the former president. Buhari's former assistant on digital media posted colorful photos and videos of the celebration on Instagram with the caption, "How to welcome your son after 8 years serving the country as its commander-in-chief of the armed forces." Under sports, the Flying Eagles of Nigeria will square up against the Albi Celestes of Argentina in the round of 16 of the FIFA U-20 World Cup today, Wednesday, May 31st. Nigeria qualified for the round of 16 after finishing as one of the 4 best third-place teams, despite amassing 6 points in the group stage, while Argentina picked up all maximum points to top their group. Finally, under entertainment in Brazil, a beauty pageant in the city of Cuiabá descended into chaos after the husband of the runner-up in the competition smashed the winner's crown. The man stormed the stage of the Miss Gay Mato Grosso pageant, snatching the decorative headwear as officials were placing it on the winner, Emanuele Bellini's head. Bellini's victory came after a closely contested final, which was open to the LGBTQIAP community. In a video footage that has gone viral, the man, identified as Natalie Becker, could be seen hurling the crown to the floor, causing it to shatter into pieces. This is not funny at all.
Sad.
Really sad situation.
Very sad. No matter what it was.
Have reacted to it. Well, let's begin what's trending with reactions trailing the mood of the nation. Barely 24 hours after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's inaugural speech, in which he pronounced that subsidy is gone, while investors and stock market have reacted positively to the president's economic policy direction. Members of Organised Labour under the aegis of the Nigerian Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress have described the president's pronouncement as outrageous and insensitive to Nigerians' economic plight. Vice President Kashim Shettima on Tuesday, however, justified the urgent need to end the fuel subsidy regime, saying the policy must be phased out for the survival of the country.
The truth of the matter is that we either get rid of the fuel subsidy or the fuel subsidy gets rid of the Nigerian nation. In 2022, we spent $10 billion subsidizing the ostentatious lifestyle of the upper class of the society, because you and I benefit 90% from the oil subsidy. The poor 40% of Nigerians benefit very little from the fuel subsidy. And we know the consequences of unveiling a masquerade. We'll get payouts opposition from those benefiting from the oil scam.
Well, meanwhile, the Group Chief Executive Officer of NNPCL, Mele Kyari, on Tuesday disclosed that the federal government was indebted to the National Oil Company to the tune of 2.8 trillion in fuel subsidy payments, while emphasizing on reasons to support the move to eliminate petrol subsidy.
Since the provision of the 6 trillion in 2022 and the 3.7 trillion in 2023, we have not received no payment whatsoever from the Federation. That means they are unable to pay, and will continue to support the subsidy from the cash flow of the NNPC. That is, when we net off our fiscal obligations of taxes and royalty, there is still a balance that we are funding from our cash flow, and that has become very, very difficult and affecting our other operations.
Well, the chaotic reaction to the subsidy removal announcement continued on Tuesday, with many filling stations across the country hoarding the product, while the few that opened to customers sold at exorbitant prices. Several state governors, including those of Bayelsa, Osun, and Edo, as well as the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, have reacted to marketers and fuel stations that are hiking fuel prices in their states. Sanwo-Olu said the petrol dealers are taking advantage of the president's announcement to inflict suffering on citizens.
I think it's too early in the day for people to begin to second guess our new president. You know, this is a pronouncement, and I think it's unfair on all of our, major marketers to want to begin, to seize, opportunity in areas where it's not. I mean, we all need to be sincere in this country. If we really want to get things done, let us know that, yes, we might need to belt up a little bit, but it's really so that we have a better life down the line. There's nothing that has changed in our pronouncement that will have cost, But hey, I'm sure the federal government that we have will be able to rise up to it and be able to deal with it. So I want to encourage everyone to be law-abiding, to go about their normal business, and things will certainly turn out for us for the better. Thank you.
All right, Rufai. The governor has said that it is too early in the day for people to react to the president's announcement. I know yesterday we talked about marketers. We did blame marketers yesterday, but I heard you earlier say that it's not the fault of the marketers, and that because, they have a business to protect, and that is why they are going against it. But I think that it's not just the fact that, the marketers have hiked up their prices. This is having a huge effect on Nigerians. And I believe that other state governors, like the governor of Bayelsa State, Osun State, and Edo State, have said that fueling stations that are going to close down their operation will be penalized. And I think that other governors should take this action as well. It is unacceptable. Rufai.
Oji, if the governor says it's too early in the day to start second-guessing the president, I think it's too early in the day for Nigerians to be suffering hardship of not being able to go home, of buying fuel over 600 naira per litre. I think it's also too early in the day. Let's call a spade with our arguments. See, there's nobody that don't want fuel subsidies to go. I want it to go. Everybody wants it to go. We're sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of being in countries like Cote d'Ivoire, and I'm seeing Nigerian tankers taking our fuel that we subsidize here to go sell for cheap over there. Benin Republic and the likes. I'm sick and tired. But if you want to do it, you have to plan it. It is the plan that was not put in place that caused all of this. Plans like now, afterwards, you are just meeting labor now. Joajero said he will, some representative of the federal government will have to talk to him soon. I think there's a meeting scheduled. Plan not put in ground is what the oil marketers are taking and running with as we speak. We all want it to go, but you still need to put the palliative. At first now, Ayo, we don't even know how they are going to spend the palliative. We don't even agree on that. The $800 million that is waiting. Are we going to be giving people 5,000, which I think is a bad idea? How are we going to do it?
Well, the social register is not in operation as we speak. So
as we speak today, what should be done is go back to the drawing board, the word I hate to use about Nigeria. Look at how you're going to put your plan in place. Probably if you can phase, and when I keep talking about phase, I'm talking about a month or two to alert people. But some people will argue that, we've been having phases for a while. But we all know that all of those phase removal was not done with political will. Oji, we live in a country where people lie too much to us. Have you forgotten that Ibe Kachuku told us at the point that subsidy 2 had been removed? You remember when petrol price was going down, was even lowering in price?
All right.
But we see all of this as we speak today. So what we should do is go back to the drawing board, try as much as possible to ameliorate this, because you're going to have inflationary tendencies and some other fallout effect and all of that. We say in a hurry that, oh yes, capitalist instructions of the market must take place. But we forget that we live in a country where people are largely very poor.
Yes.
I am for subsidy removal, but the way we went about it was wrong. Can we look inwards, set a target timeline for it, and pull it off, because we need to pull it off?
Kayode, I know you want to say something.
My position is very clear. I agree with Rufai to some extent, but again, I'm not agreeing with him on some of the points he's making. My point is this: Nigerian midstream and downstream petroleum regulatory authority, they should be out there and making sure that they regulate. The DPR, they should be going out and doing their job. The agencies of government that should do the job, they should be out there. The president has made a decision, and this decision is sacrosanct and it stands, and it's the perfect time. There's not going to be a honeymoon period for him, but he has to take he has to take a stand now. Get the agencies of government to go out. There is petrol in the depots. The petrol station had petrol as of 3 days ago. It has not finished. So there's no reason for them to do this. Governor Sanwo-Olu has gone out, and all the other governors that are going out, they're doing the right thing by telling the petrol marketers, do the right thing for Nigeria for once. Let's get you to do this for Nigeria. The president has done the right thing as far as I'm concerned. And all we need to do is get the agencies of government to go out and follow through and get the results.
I agree with you, Kayode. Yesterday we talked about it. Nigerians are our biggest problems, Ayo. I mean, what's your take on that?
All right, so I'm glad that you played the video by the GCEO of NNPCL, as well as the statement made by the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, in terms of the fact that, number one, we have enough supply of fuels, of petrol, so we shouldn't see fuel queues on our streets. The second aspect of it is what the VP said, that it has to be done. There's no provision for it. They can't afford it. It has come to stay. The third part of the videos that were, or the clips that were shown, was also the fact that the state governor, so at subnational level, they're coming out to stand in support and actually doing their own bits to ensure that this policy actually works. And so going back to the marketers, there are two issues here. Number one is the fact that they're not selling, hence causing queues. Then number two is the fuel hike. So to address the fact that they're not selling is what Mele Kyari has come out to say, that we have enough supply. So what is the problem? Why are you shutting down your filling stations? And some governors have actually said that if they continue, anyone found culpable, they will revoke their CFO, that they were going to actually clamp down very heavily on these petrol stations so that you don't put the people in further hardship. Because already we are having to contemplate or grapple with the fact that in a short time we're going to be paying more for PMS, and the result effect on that, on the price on inflation, food inflation, transportation costs, don't make our lives harder by not even making the product available. So I hope that today, like you mentioned, Kay, that they would go out there and actually penalize filling stations, marketers who are not selling to the people. We have to recognize that.
Absolutely for that. Well, let's take another story. The presidential election petition court on Tuesday admitted documents as exhibits filed by the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, accusing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of drug offenses in the United States. Peter Obi is asking the court to nullify Tinubu's victory, alleging widespread irregularities during the presidential election and Tinubu's ineligibility to contest the election. Obi's lawyer tendered the documents purporting to be the U.S. court's decision awarding $460,000 fine against the president for illicit drugs trafficking imposed by the United States District Court, Northern District of Illinois. In the meantime, Peter Obi, in a series of tweets on Monday, stated that he is aware of some evil designs against him and his supporters in the coming months. His statement coincided with the inauguration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the Eagle Square in Abuja. His tweet read in part, "I am aware of some evil designs being hatched against me and my supporters in the coming months. Efforts will be made to taint my image. Campaigns of calumny are being perfected to defame my character and diminish my hard-earned integrity. For all Nigerians, this is a time for deep reflection. It is also a time to re-examine our assumptions Even as we reaffirm our hopes, let's calmly review our aspirations in order to recalibrate our expectations and pin down the causes of our missed opportunities and disappointments. We stand at that critical moment in time when, as a people, we must collectively come to grips with the reality of our injured destiny as well as the reasons for that injury. It is for us to reassess our plight as a young democracy and identify clear pathways to a better and greater future for us all. I mean, he went on to state various reasons why he believes that there is evil plot against him. I don't know what your thoughts are. I would love for you to juxtapose both stories.
Concerning the first story, as regards the outplay in court, what is happening as regards witnesses on the drug issue, you see, Oji, that's why a lot of Nigerians, I, for one, called for this process to be televised. Because you see, the reported speech is always slanted. So I would not like to comment on an issue in court based on reported speech that I didn't see for myself as regards the court case and the interrogation that went on. And this was why it was best for them to have telecast this thing so that we all see. Probably if I'd seen. Because I don't want to base my assumption based on a slanted reportage of a journalist in the courtroom, which has its own slant.
Well, it's really just that they tendered the documents. That's really the report there. I just was talking about the fact that, you know, he made those statements on Inauguration Day, as well as the fact that, you know, they had just tendered really basically within 24 hours
I know.
of President Muhammad.
No, they have tendered the documents.
Tinubu.
The court process will go on.
Right.
But I just use that to call for something we have all hitherto called for.
Absolutely, I get that
again,
point,
you know, because a lot of reportage will come out, which might not necessarily be the truth reportage. And that's why it's best for us to see it ourselves and make up our mind. Secondly, as regards Peter Obi, and this evil plot about him, you know, I've wondered something in couple of days. Why is it that the DSS have never picked any plots against a frontline opposition party leader in the country? Why is it only plots about they want to disrupt inauguration and all of that? The DSS only picks. Because for Peter Obi to be able to come out as regards plot like this, are we saying that the security agents don't know about it? So when are they going to come out to say it? That, please, Nigerians, watch out. This man, Peter Obi, must not be attacked or anything. Or this campaign of calumny must not happen against him. Because he's a Nigerian too. And people that plan evil for him must desist from it.
Absolutely.
He's done no wrong by aspiring for the highest position in the country. And if we truly want to build this country, and if we truly want unity in this country, let's not forget that Peter Obi has a right like a Nigerian that has run.
Absolutely.
And his rights must be respected, and nothing must be done against him. I would like to put all of this he said also in the hands of the DSS. I would like to CC the DSS. Please, State Security Service, ensure that Mr. Peter Obi is safe, protected, and nothing happens to him and his integrity.
All right. We'll take another story. As members of the previous administration begin settling in their localities after handing over power to their successors, videos showing them in their new environment have begun circulating on social media, while former President Muhammadu Buhari was seen in a video surrounded by family members. I don't know if you saw this actual video. I believe they were claiming that he was asking for air conditioning. But you see Muhammadu Buhari just very relaxed in his environment. And this is what he said that he wanted to do anyways. He wants to go back home and relax. Well, also, the former governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, departed from the government house on Tuesday with his wife after the inauguration of the new governor, Sim Fubara. Well, in the video now making the rounds on social media, the governor was seen on the streets with a massive crowd. Beautiful video of finally a former governor of Rivers State and Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, has showcased his singing talent, releasing a gospel song to mark his 58th birthday. Well, in a video now making the rounds on social media, Amechi was seen singing to the song titled Psalm 104, featuring his family members. Let's take a look.
Lord, send forth your spirit and renew the face of the earth. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. Oh Lord my God, how great you are. How many are your works, oh Lord? The earth is full of your creation. May the glory of the Lord last forever.
Well, you know that this video has come up on social media because people are wondering what our past governors will be doing after they leave office. But I mean, you can hear his voice there. Amechi was perfect. But also, I wanted to touch on the River State governor's video. I mean, how amazing was that video? It was beautiful to see that his people came out like that.
Beautiful to see, and also a very powerful message.
Yes.
There, that no matter how long it is, everyone must face the time when change would happen. It's either you exit government or perhaps you're not even here on this earth again. So that people remember this when they take certain actions. And
Absolutely.
I just wanted to say the song that came to mind when I saw President Buhari's video was Back to Life, Back to Reality.
Now, Miss Violence, back to reality. And they're all back to reality at this point. Well, I would like to thank you all for your great analysis, as always, on What's Trending. Well, that's all I have for you on What's Trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.